My name is Daniel Zamora, and we have a very special show for you tonight, as we have not one, but two special guests. Please welcome Cardinal Jade and Cardinal Andre. Oh, boys. Thanks for having us.
I'm excited to be here.
Briefly tell us about yourselves and how you came to be in the position that you are.
Well, Daniel, I'm a bishop of a diocese. For me personally, my dream was to be a doctor, but as I went to college, I found that that wasn't really for me. Studying and everything wasn't really there, so I dropped out. I ended up getting a job up in New York to try and just support myself, and it was the best job. But then I knew that every day after my job, I would go to church and I'd go to the chapel, and it would really keep me sane. And after about like 3-4 months of that job, I quit, and I realized that I need to pursue a life in God. So I quit then, and I started down the path of a bishop, and later on down my life, luckily, I was appointed to be a cardinal by the Pope. I work in our cathedral and around the entire diocese, making sure that everything runs smoothly. After serving for a priest for 13 years and serving as a pastor of my local church and congregation, I was nominated for the episcopacy and was chosen to be the new bishop. After serving as a bishop for 3 years, Pope Benedict the 16th saw significant growth in my diocese and appointed me as cardinal, and I have been serving as cardinal since then.
Alright, like Cardinal Jade, I served as a priest for much time before advancing into my office. I was called to serve as an administrative advisor to my bishop when I was still a priest, and it was there that he passed away, so I was called to succeed him. And I was chosen for that job because I'd proven my administrative capabilities. And so after that, I became bishop, and I served as bishop for 16 years. Then Pope Benedict the 16th called me to serve on the Congregation for Catholic Education in the Roman Curia. I rose in authority until I became a secretary or head of the department.
Very nice. What exactly is a cardinal?
Well, a cardinal is simply a title given to a bishop. A common misconception is that cardinals are bosses of the bishops, when, as the hierarchy of the Catholic Church might suggest, we are all bishops. The title cardinals only is an honorary appointed by the bishop for superior service. Our only special job is to serve in the electoral college when it is time to elect a new pope.
So I can imagine you were very busy in the recent conclave that elected Pope Francis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we definitely were. It was an amazing experience to be in the Sistine Chapel with 114 other cardinals electing the future of our church. As Jade knows, although there are currently 203 cardinals from 69 different countries, Pope Paul VI set a voting limit of 80 years and a maximum of 120 voters. So this year we only had 115. Between voting, counting, break, and eating periods, we spent 24 hours and submit 5 different ballots. We had to submit 5 because we had to submit ballots until 2/3 of the majority votes for the same cardinal.
Yeah, it was very tiring.
Going back to the subject of becoming a cardinal, is there anything else you can tell me about the process?
Well, like all priests, I started off in seminary. I worked on my studies for a couple of years and eventually was ordained.
Can you tell me more about the seminary?
Yeah, a seminary, almost like a small university. When I first went to the seminary, I had to be interviewed in front of a council at the seminary where I was asked questions about my faith and my knowledge on Bible studies. It's actually very hard to get into the seminary, as about 100 people apply to become a priest and like 50 or 60 are accepted. Once you are accepted, you live on campus for a couple of years and take college-level theology courses like you would see at Catholic universities.
What was day-to-day life like in the seminary?
So early in the morning, I would go to the chapel and I would pray. Then I would go eat breakfast and start my day. I would have classes on the history of the church, and I would have a class that would teach us what a priest does and how we would do start a mass and such.
Earlier, Cardinal Andre, you said, I heard you talk about something called the Roman Curia. Can you explain more about that to our viewers?
Yes, sure. So, curia in Latin means court. So therefore, the Roman Curia is the court of Rome. We assist the Pope in religious governance of the Church. So it consists of the Secretariat of State, 9 congregations, 3 tribunals, 11 pontifical councils, and a complex of offices that administer to church affairs. So the most important administrative bodies are the congregations because they govern over institutional aspects abroad, so outside of Rome. So there's the Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith, the Oriental Churches, Divine Worship and the Discipline of the Sacraments, Bishops, Catholic Education, the Causes of Saints, the Clergy, the Evangelization of Peoples, and the Institutes of Consecrated Life and Societies of Apostolic Life. So I lead the Congregation of Catholic Education, which sets the standards and maintains them for Catholic education in seminaries, houses of formations of religious and secular institutes, and Catholic schools from preschools to universities. We oversee education at each level.
Tell me about the clothing you wear.
So, even though I'm not wearing it right now, when in choir dress, a Latin Rite cardinal wears scarlet garments. The blood-like color symbolizes that we as cardinals are willing to die for our faith. Excluding the rocher, which is our big white hat, we wear scarlet garments, including the cassock, which is the robe we wear, the mozetta, which is like the little cape we also wear, the brietta, which is our four-cornered cap, and we wear a zucchetto, which is another little cap that we wear underneath the brietta.
Tell me about a saint that is important to you as cardinals.
So as a cardinal, a saint that's important to us is Saint Peter, because Saint Peter was known as the first pope, and so when we're electing a pope, we like to try and compare them to how Saint Peter lived his life and set an example.
We're gonna switch moods here. In recent news, the movie that won Best Picture at the Oscars was a movie called Spotlight, which touched on the subject of the true story of how Catholic priests were molesting children. How does this affect the church, and what does it mean for the future of the church?
Alright, so sadly, there are cases of priests like molesting and raping kids, which is like horrible. I mean, we can't deny that it happens, but it's a real minority in the church, and we can't let that bad image taint the whole overarching image of the church, because every institution has bad things that happen. So we can't let it define the entire religion. There are many things that the church isn't proud of, like the Crusades and the schisms in the church and the divisions within our denominations and things like that. It's only one thing, and we can't let it influence everything else.
How does prayer affect your daily life?
As cardinals, we often have to make important executive decisions in our diocese motivated by prayer.
Since I oversee all Catholic education around the world, it's really important for me to pray frequently and have a clear conscience when I'm making choices that affect millions of students who are going to be the future of the church.
Lastly, is there anything you'd want to say to the youth that want to become cardinals?
Well, I hope that after hearing our interview, that many of the youth dream to become a fellow bishop and then hopefully get appointed to become cardinals, because as cardinals, not only do we, help to elect the Pope, but we work through prayer by helping ourselves and helping others come closer to God.
Right, and cardinal is a big title, and there's a lot of, glamour within the church, but the real important thing is that we're all priests in the most basic way, and our mission is to help people become closer to God and, make the earth a better place.
Well, that's all the time we have. Well, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.